Hey, y'all. Hey, what's up? Welcome back to the UnNatural Mom podcast, a space where we celebrate motherhood in all its beautiful, messy, non traditional forms. I am your host, your girl Tam, and today's episode is deeply personal. It's called More Than a Mother Redefining Identity Beyond Parenthood. And if you've ever looked in the mirror and wondered where the rest of you went after becoming a mom, this one is for you. So when I adopted my son, my whole world shifted. And that's going to happen whether you adopt or give birth or whatever. There's going to be a shift in your world like none other. But for me, I left my job, but it was not because I had to. It's because I wanted to give him the time and the space and the stability that he needed. But I had to also give myself the same thing. I knew that he had to adjust to a new environment, this new life, a new mommy, me, and I knew that I had to be extremely present for that. But not only did he have to adjust, I had to adjust. Like, we're strangers, although he was very, very little. We're strangers. We don't know each other. You have a process. I mean, the same thing works, when you get a baby, of course, but it's a baby. So that's a little bit different versus getting like a 2-year old or a 3-year old. You're a stranger, and so you want to start slowly, and because he's had a way of living for a couple of years, but it's still going to be some type of adjustment, and you want to allow space for that adjustment to take place naturally and be there for him. At least I wanted to be here for him in that way. But what no one prepared me for was how much of me would fade into the background. So my days revolved around going to therapy sessions and school meetings and meltdowns and pure survival. So I'm literally at the school, mostly because of behavior issues. If you don't know my story and you're watching this for the first time, I adopted my son who had a traumatic brain injury at 3 months old. And so you're dealing with that kind of stuff and the struggles that come along with that. And it wasn't necessarily me being or me saying, "Ooh, I just want to go to the school and make sure I'm with them all the time." No, it's literally the teacher saying, "Hey, we need your support. We need your help. Um, can you please come up here to the school?" He's doing this, he's doing that. So it was me offering support to the teachers just to get him to like kind of calm down, because when you get kids, you don't know, the challenges and the struggles and the medical things that they've had to endure. And so you get them where they are. And if they've been doing things a certain way, it's going to be a process to try to change that way. I remember his social worker saying, he's had 2 years or 3 years of being like this. It's going to take just as long to kind of flip that and do the reverse. So it was a process for me, and I needed that time and that space, of course, to get to know him and to deal with him and learn him. But when I go through this, and this was something that I chose. Um, I wanted to be a mother, and I chose to do it in this way, dealing with all the hardships. I would say, how can I complain about everything that I'm going through, because this is a choice that I made for me. And I knew that he had, the medical condition and everything that came along with that. So who am I to complain? This is what I wanted. This is what I prayed for. But that's the unique emotional weight of becoming a mother, the unnatural way. But there is this layer of guilt, because this is something that I fought for. Like I said, I waited, I prayed, I sacrificed. So when it got hard, or when it gets hard, and it will, it feels almost selfish to say, "I'm struggling." Now, I said it a little bit in so many ways. And thank God I had, friends and family there to help me and support, because they saw some of the things that I had to go through, and they were like, "Ooh." And I said, "Ooh," too. It was a lot. And I know I'm not the only one that feels this way. And if you think that you are, you absolutely are not. But I had that period of not working and everything. And so I went back to work, but I was still juggling trying to be a good mom and be a good career woman. Um, with my job, you have long days. It came with that travel, week-long events in other countries. At least that's my job. But now I'm just kind of faced with, can I be a good mom and be good at my job? But here's the truth that saved me. You can be both. You can be both. You can be a mother and an entrepreneur. You can love your child and still be a VP or a CEO. Now, that does come with sacrifice. And as a mom trying to do it all, the word that I can say is and. You can do this and you can do that. But for me, rediscovering who I was meant to be and honoring the parts of me that I had to put on hold, I had to reverse that and start being me again. You know, sometimes you lose yourself when you become a mother because your focus is simply on that child. I have to take care of the child. I have to make sure the child is at school. The child has events. The child has appointments. I have to feed the child. And you got to take care of the house. And you got to take care of yourself. Don't have more than one child. And you got to take care of the pet. You know, it's a lot that comes along with being, you know, the mother or the father when you have a family. When it's not just solely you, a lot comes on, you know, a lot comes with that. And so sometimes you are pushed to the background. You know, a lot of people, you know, are in school and they say I couldn't finish school because I had a family, or I couldn't do this job because I had a family. I couldn't go for my dreams because I have a family. But you can. You cannot neglect yourself in this process. You can do this and you can do that. You know, some people are like, I wanted to be a chef. Go be a chef. You can. I wanted to be a baker. Go bake. You can. I started my own candle business, and it's happened like during COVID. I knew nothing about candles. I just researched it, and I figured, hey, why not? I love being creative. I love making things. And so I learned everything that I needed to do in order to make that happen. I designed everything. I came up with a marketing plan. My background is in marketing. I did website. Everything I did, you know, was because I knew that I could, and I'm creative enough to do this kind of stuff. I can do this and I can do that. And then I started this wonderful podcast, The UnNatural Mom. And this was born out of that same spark. It was a need to talk and connect and be creative and reclaim my voice. You don't have to choose between motherhood and the rest of you. You are allowed to want more, and that doesn't make you ungrateful. It makes you human. But how do you start? It doesn't have to be a grand gesture or this big business. You know, you can start where you are. You can start by writing your thoughts down, getting a vision board, journaling. You can take a walk. You can develop a playlist. You can talk about it with your friends. You know, reconnecting with yourself happens in tiny moments. You can set boundaries. You can say no to something that drains you. You can say yes to something that lights you up, even if it's just like taking a nap or a YouTube workout video or learning a new dance trend or whatever the case may be. You have to take time out for yourself. So often we get lost. We get lost in other people, doing things for others so much that we're now in the background. You know, that's not fair to us, you know. And also, you can ask for help. It doesn't make you weak, it makes you wise. The point of this is for you to dream again. Write down your goals, even if they feel far away. Write them down and you just make a space in your calendar just for you. Whether it's just going to get your nails done, getting your hair done, getting a massage, you deserve it. Don't feel lost. Please don't do that. You have to be your priority. You have to put yourself on the list. A lot of people don't put themselves on the list. A lot of people take care of so many others and not yourself. You are important. Make yourself your priority. And when you're good, you can be good for others. You are not broken. You're not selfish. And you're not less of a mother because you want more. You're not. You are a full, complex, beautiful person, and your dreams matter. Go for your dreams. It's never too late. You can do this and you can do that. You can be this and you can be that. Your identity doesn't vanish when you become a mom. It may shift, expand, evolve, but it's still yours. I've talked to like some other natural moms, and they've told me, I thought I was the only one feeling this way, or I felt guilty for missing my old self. And if that's you, I see you, but I'm cheering you on. Your story is still being written. And this chapter, this one is for you. So if this episode spoke to your spirit, I want you to share it with a fellow unnatural mom who might need this reminder that you can do this and you can do that. You can do both. Okay? You got it? All right. Listen, don't forget to subscribe to this podcast. Please. It's on YouTube right now. That's how you're watching it. But subscribe, like it, make a comment. I want to hear your thoughts. And make sure you follow me on Instagram, on TikTok, Facebook. I'm all over the place. Okay? I want to connect with you. We have similar stories. We are in this together. Okay? I see you. And I want to make sure that you know that you can be everything. You can be a mom and you can be whatever your heart's desires. It's never too late. Put yourself back on your list. Make yourself a priority. You're important. You got this, okay? So until next time, I want you to remember this. You are more than a mother, and you're doing better than you think. You are. I love you. I appreciate you all for watching so much. Thank you for your support. I appreciate all the comments. I appreciate you guys sharing all of these things on the platforms that you do. I am just overwhelmed, and I hope you can tune in next week because it's going to be good again.